What's up? Let's see who the early birds are today. I usually mute my mic when I do this stuff, but I'm just gonna let it be. I'm gonna be sending out the links to the live. Make sure you've signed up to the portal if you haven't already. Oops. But it was a nice session. Today morning's been chaotic. That's why I'm starting at 11:01 instead of 11. I made coffee. I didn't even get time to drink coffee. Now it's cold, but that's life. If you have any suggestions for our portal, let us know. Always looking to improve. But in terms of trades, Aussie dollar is playing games. We had great USD fundamentals. I believe it was a CPI. We'll look at it in a bit. Euro melted to the T, take profit, beautiful. Pound yen melted to the T. Euro yen melted past our take profit, but got pips regardless. So go live. But yeah, last night the chat was probably the busiest it's been since we started. So I love the activity and the overall participation. Greatly appreciated. I think it was probably one of our best sessions next to our pre-NFP session, no doubt. Share this through. Hold on, guys. I'd rather have me do this and you guys hear me than it being quiet. So, till then, just send in your pair recommendations and any other trading related questions, and we can get started. Make sure you signed up. Oops. Is the audio okay? Please let me know. So every day at 11 a.m. is when we're going to be doing it, unless I specify otherwise. I'm trying to get into a consistent schedule. So pretty much no matter what, I want to do it at 11. That way people, even in different time zones, can book off 30 minutes at that time. So 11 a.m. Eastern or New York time, whatever you prefer. Last night we pretty much got around 180 pips, so amazing. Like I said, because of time zones, I'm usually asleep when the price action happens for some of the setups, and it played up perfectly. We'll go over that. Start in a few minutes, guys. Let everyone get settled in. I guess in the time being, I'll show you guys how to get set up on the portal. So there's two things you gotta do. Pretty easy. So you go here to Forex Trading Room, click apply, and it's free to the 31st. We might extend that, so you have half a month left. So just get in. Reap the benefits. It's free. Fill out all these details as accurate and legit as you can. The key is your email address. Make sure it's real, and click submit after you agree. It's gonna take 5 or so minutes. Check your spam folders, but you will get the email. It's gonna be called "You were qualified for our program, Expect a Program," and you're gonna get details. It's gonna be a username and password. The username is most probably your email. All you gotta do is copy and paste the username and copy and paste the password. Click remember me and you'll be in. A lot of people try to type out the password and they can't log in. These passwords are unique, abstract characters. So just copy and paste them and they should work. If not, contact support. So support@forexlens.com and we'll help you out. So it's Tuesday. Why is it so slow? People are acting like it's Monday. What other pairs do you guys want to see? Don't be shy. Greetings. What's up? Man, we had someone from New Zealand last night, and the live session at night helped them because they can't usually make it because they're in New Zealand. Yeah, so someone from South Africa. We have clients from all over the world. Really, it's crazy. USD yen. Okay, that's something I want to look at as well. Euro Aussie. Okay, yeah, Euro Aussie we looked at Monday. I believe I said there was a short entry. I don't think we looked at it last night, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure I called a short. Someone asked on Monday. Okay, so we have USD yen, Euro Aussie. I'm gonna look at Aussie USD. Okay, now it's starting to fall. I'll explain why I told you guys to get out, but looks like it's coming back in our way. I did call the shorts again. Gold, cool gold. Surprised. I asked last night, and I don't think anyone really trades crypto. Because from time to time I do analyze Bitcoin. It's pretty fun. Fun stuff. Okay, pound yen. A lot of people like yen. It's cool. Okay, pound yen, AUD. Okay, you know what? Without boring people, I'm gonna get started. As we go along, you can suggest pairs and questions. If you have any friends that trade, just before we start, let them know about the free trading room and the free signal group. If you want to be entered into a free signal group, we send some of our best signals in there, mine including. If you're trying to get into that, just email support@forexlens.com. In the subject line, just put free signal group, and all you have to do is supply us your Telegram username, and we'll add you in. And right now we're offering. If you haven't gotten the email, we're offering the trading room, the signals, all for free. Just trying to show the clients what we have to offer. So anything else? Do you analyze Nasdaq? Not really, to be honest. But thing about Nasdaq and overall like S&P 500, Dow Jones, you can technically analyze them, but fundamentals are more frequent and they're less predictable in my honest opinion. Usually when currencies release their fundamentals, you kind of have a sense. So for example, rate cuts. If inflation's too high, then you're always expecting the rising and cutting of rates. Euro pound. Okay, so all right, we got a few pairs, so let's jump into it. From last night's session, if you haven't watched it, I broke down this this Aussie dollar short, and it's looking like we are finally making moves. The reason why I called off the short earlier, we were in 4 pips profit, is we were kind of reacting to this descending trend line. And this descending trend line is from the daily time frame, right? And we made a break on Monday. We made a nice break and close above. So obviously I was reluctant in the portal. Okay, I'll show you guys how to use the portal. Just one sec. So obviously I was reluctant, but going down to the lower time frames. Actually, I'll be making a video on how to use the portal. It'll probably be up by today. So for those that are asking, but so once we broke this descending trend line, we retested a couple of times and made a bull run to this resistance at 0.70460, and we printed a evening star on the 4 hourly, and we reversed down, and we broke a trend line. And the reason why I called off shorts earlier was because we were kind of, rejecting this area, but it's looking like sellers are coming in. And what's up, Salman? How are you? So that's why I said let's hold off, because Euro USD, which I also broke down last night and we entered, melted perfectly. And so I was surprised that just look at this. I was surprised that Aussie dollar didn't follow suit. Perfect trade. Just if you want me to break it down again, really quick. So so much confluence. So this is our ascending channel. We had a break. We had a retest of this channel right here. Popping down to the 4 hourly, I was seeing, okay, we've retested a couple of times, and this level right here, 1.12700, acted as resistance, right? And I plotted this trend line, so I knew that if we did break this, then we'd have a shift in trend, and we did. Very little drawdown, and we hit our take profit, our key level to the T, 1.12085. And price is stalling there. This is why I choose my take profits the way they are. They're just not random increments in pips. They're usually key levels, and it's great that we took profits at this level, because we rebounded about 20 pips or so from there. And just looking from to the left, this level has caused some bull runs in the past. So if you are in shorts and in profit, you can honestly just secure the bag right now. It is Tuesday, and the day has just started, so we have the rest of the trading week to make even more pips. But that was Euro USD, perfect trade. I was just shocked that Aussie didn't move that way, partly because we had some great USD fundamentals today. So USD core retail sales came out higher on both ends. The forecast was 0.1%. We got 0.4 across the board. So if you're wondering why the USD gained strength, that's one of the reasons. So let's get into gold. Well, actually, we'll go in order. So USD yen. USD yen. This pair is it's been good to us. So last week we got in on these shorts, made some good pips, and just popping to the daily, we're kind of sitting at our support zone right now when we've rebounded. So let me remove this. If you were in the shorts, so why you gotta join the live session, you get on these gems. But right now we're rebounding off the support zone. Since June we've kind of used it as a major support. Even when we broke down and passed this, we've always had a rally back up. When we did get a break and close, we had a nice fat bullish engulfing candle just to bring us back up. Going to the lower time frames, I don't really see much. We had this trend line break where we did do a nice short, but right now price is looking like it's rebounding, and obviously we just had positive USD fundamentals. So we can do is probably plot this trend line, and there was entries for long somewhere around here when you got the break of this trend line. You could have longed off support. Just looking to the left, near term regions for USD yen, you can watch out for. Something like this could happen. Could have something like this. Ideally, the entry was when we had this close above this descending trend line. It would have been a nice entry, especially on the 1 hourly. It would probably be more clear. So perfect. So on the 1 hourly, we see that we've been respecting this descending trend line, and then we did get a break above right at this candle, and price surged back. So it did a retest, and then we did a rejection. A nice bullish candle rejection, and so the entry was right around here, right after we came back up and made this bullish candle. You could have had a nice nice trade like this, with the risk to reward being 4.51. You could technically enter now. So I wouldn't, just because since the support zone is so wide, price could, like, let's say we enter now, price could come here and come right here, stop us out, and then rebound, right? That's why the best entry was right here when we got that break, because our stop loss could be right here. If we break out below the support zone, our longs are off and we can enter shorts. If we enter somewhere here, our stop loss has to be almost this size, and it's still 1.27, but actually no, see exactly. So looking at this key level, 108, so 108.678, 108.700. That area is looking like a key target for USD yen, which we can shoot to. Long entry probably pass, but if you are set on entering, going to the lower time frames, the recent lower low was right around this area. I mean, yeah, so right around this area. So you could do something like this, but again, it's below my golden standard of 1.35. So I would not enter this, but that's what we're looking at. We could have intraday shorts at this level. Just looking to the left, we've been capped at the level on multiple attempts to go higher. So watch out for that. USD yen, unfortunately, the long entries have passed. But once you guys start learning how to trade this way, when I'm asleep or whatever, and you're awake in your time zone, you could enter these trades. Next up, Euro Aussie. I believe I did call shorts Monday, but let's see. Okay, yeah, so cool. This was Euro Aussie, and whoever asked for these shorts is in some profit right now. Nice move down, 2.79 risk to reward ratio, but it's just trading with the trend. Stop trying to be the cool guy, catching reversals. Price most of the time is consolidating, so it's in ranges. That's why most of my trade setups are range fills. The other times it's trending, so up or down, and the very few times it's reversing. So put your trades in the first two, ranges, and so ranges as in supply and demand, support and resistance zones, and trading with the trend. So this was a simple trading with the trend trade. We plotted our descending trend line down. When we got that nice tap at a confluence level, this blue line is a support, 1.60133. If I just pan out a bit, you can see why it's a support on the daily. On the daily, you can see support here, resistance here, going to the left, support here, going to the left, resistance here. So it's a key zone. A lot of wick activity in that region. And so what we had on the lower time frames was a nice tap at our trend line right near our resistance supply zone, and we had a nice fallout. This is around 50 or so pips, very little drawdown. We didn't even go into our stop loss area. We are kind of retracing. If I extend this out a bit, if you're in shorts and you're looking to swing, watch out for price to retrace here and reject. If price comes anywhere above this trend line, you might want to cut your profits short and just get out. But for swing traders, they usually just like to set the trade and let it be. Just watch out for price action at this trend line. What we ideally want is another another rejection, and like this, and another leg down. So our next zone is 1.59335. So if you're looking to enter shorts, plot this descending trend line down and look for price action at this area. For a dark cloud cover, evening star, a bearish engulfing, something like that to indicate price is ready to go back down. But yeah, overall, going to the weekly, our swing short take profit is somewhere around 1.56700. Right where this support zone and this trend line meet. This trend line has great significance on the weekly, and it's looking like we're going to come down there after rejecting resistance. So that's Euro Aussie. There is a short setup available. Just sit on your hands for now. Wait for the price action to play out. Someone said gold. Gold. Okay, so this is gold. We're still in the same area. I actually reanalyzed gold last night, all my key levels. So just drawing back out from the weekly, we have this descending trend line, and that we did break. We broke it exactly in January 19th of this year. We had a break, came up here, a retest a couple of times, and we had a nice rejection and a bull run. We came into a very strong resistance at 1429. The way I say it's very strong is if I pan out, right here at this moment in time, back in August of 2013, our little bull kind of recovery was capped there. And since then, gold has been capped by this resistance region, this blue zone right here, which spans from around 1350 to 1370. So we've been capped by that, and every time we've broke out of it, we came up to 1429. And so right now is stalling there right now. We'll see what price action is saying on the lower time frame. We were printing a pennant last night, so I drew this pennant. It's a depending where this ends up, it could be a bullish or bearish pennant, but it's just basically a flag pattern. And so usually what we have is this move, this move, this move, this move, and then price pops out of this trend line and then rockets up. We didn't have that, so we had price come back down and kind of consolidate right now on the lower time frame, the 4 hourly. I do see a setup right now actually for shorts, going around with the overall scheme of producing higher highs. Lower highs, lower highs. We could have a nice short opportunity. Just plotting this trend line down, looking at this, and just looking down, we have a nice support, contract accumulation region right here. Plot that out. I might enter this. The reason why I don't do gold signals too much anymore is because a few of you, or actually a good percentage of you have smaller accounts, and gold could wreak havoc because sometimes the minimum lot you have to enter is 0.10. So obviously on a $500 account, that's not even realistic to enter. So that's why. But for those of you that have those bigger accounts or brokers that let you enter many lots, you can look for something like this happen. Same thing as usual. I'm gonna get out my horizontal array to show my hourly resistance. So we have hourly resistance right around here, right at this point, and so that's what we're gonna be looking at. We're gonna look for a break, maybe a retest, ideally a retest, and we can have a nice short to this area right here for 1.91 risk to reward. And it's going with the overall scheme of a bearish pennant, right? Respecting these trend lines pretty nicely. So we can look out for something like this. Obviously, if you have a big account, you can go ahead and enter when price action plays out. So break of this trend line, a retest, so a touch, and then a rejection. And when I mean a rejection, a fat bearish candle engulfing, nothing like a hammer, because that's usually a fake out. So that's gold. Overall bias right now is short, just because this 1429 resistance is a major key. And USD fundamentals came out pretty well actually tonight. This morning. So we have that going in our favor. And moving on, pound yen. Pound yen shorts were called last night, and look at this melt and this entry. I don't use too many indicators, and hopefully before you thought, maybe I was, full of myself, but really you don't need them. Just price action and, maybe some EMAs for confluence. But last night, this trade, we had this little descending channel, and price was stalling right at this support at 135.181. Looking to the left, it was support in July. So ever since the yen gained strength due to the global trade war tensions. We've been capped from this level to this level, as you can see. And so when price finally broke it, we had a nice retest. And look at this rejection. When I mean a retest rejection, this is what you want right here. This fat bearish candle showed no regard for human life, and just based on our entry right at this on the lower time frame, you caught around almost 100 pips. So whoever asked for pound yen or the yen pairs last night, you banked a lot of profits, and I was actually asleep during this time. So this is what I'm saying. For those that are in different time zones, make use of these live sessions, because I can't call the signals 24/7. I can't watch price action in my sleep. But for those of you that caught in on this, easy pips, I would probably secure some of the pips right now. It looks like we might come back, retest, and then go back down. But the pound pairs move quick, man. They can make you money as just quick as they can make you broke. So I'll never get too greedy with them. But yeah, secure those pips, and if you really want, you could put stops at entry. But if it was me, I'd secure the whole lot. Did I enter on a pending order? No. I was asleep last night. On the session, I believe I did. This is why I plotted out. The reason why we didn't really look for a retest is because we had this support zone as a confluence. Usually when we do trendline breaks, like let's say we do it here, if you see on my charts, when we have this sort of situation, we're actually near a zone. I'm trying to look for one where that's not near a zone. Okay, perfect. So like right here. My bad if it's laggy. So like this. So let's say we're not near a zone and we plot a trend line. I usually want a retest because we don't have other confluence other than a trend shift, right? Obviously here if you entered you would have made pips, but more often than not you'd have a trend break. So if we move up to here, so more often than not at a key zone when you have a trend break, so we had resistance here, right? We had resistance here, multiple wicks. When we have a trend break off a resistance, you usually don't want to wait for a retest because you're gonna miss the move. Usually it's aggressive. That's what we had, and in areas where there's no additive confluence, like a support zone, you do want to wait for that retest. That's why I said for gold, we just looked at gold, right? Currently gold isn't really near a key level, right? A key level would be 1429. I just plotted this because this was the most recent higher high, so that's where I want my stops. But there's no really clear term price level or resistance, right? So that's why in this case I do want a retest, because what could actually happen is so this is our swing low, right? Our higher high, higher low, right? What we could do is we could break out here, and if we break right at this exact point, it's still a higher low because it's higher than this previous higher low. So it's not technically a trend shift, right? Because we can print a candle here and then go back up to create a new high. So it's not a trend shift. So that's why you want an additive confluence of a break, retest, rejection, because there's no key zone here. So that's why for pound yen, that area, that range that we're in, we just looked for a nice break, bounce, retest, rejection of this zone, not a trend line, because this is a ascending channel, right? And once we got that, we can enter short. But what price is looking like, what it's looking like it's doing is it's going to come back and eventually retest this. But if you don't have other confluences, look for the retest, because it could just be printing another low before it goes higher. When you have confluences like a major zone, you usually just look at price action. So we off this zone we printed a bearish engulfing, and it was an evening star. So perfect spot to enter. And so to answer your question, I did not enter. I was asleep. But whoever asked about this probably did enter because the session was at night. Moving on, CHF. I was eyeing longs yesterday. I didn't get to look at them. Okay, yeah, cool. So we are kind of going up now. So CHF long term, on the daily descending trend line right here, and going to these smaller time frames, we're coming off a nice support zone. Looking to the left, support zone back in the start of the year. Looking back in September of 2018, going all the way back. Just look at back to 2016. Nice support zone. So that's what we're having. The price. Let me zoom in. Price made a break initially, where the Swiss was acting as a safe haven. We rebounded hard, and we had a nice retest into this zone and a rejection off. And on the smaller time frame, pop into the 4-hourly. Our descending trend line had a nice break. So this is our descending trend line right here. Let me fix this. So our descending channel had a break last night, and what we're looking at right now, we're at resistance. So at 0.69482. So if you're looking for longs, we're in a great position. Just look for a break above this, and you can long to the next key level at 0.6966. If you do get a nice bearish engulfing or a evening star, we can have a nice short opportunity. That's on CHF. I'm gonna keep flying through these because I believe I'm dragging the session along. Thank you, Salman. Believe you're new, so I loved I love seeing new members. Euro pound, and I believe they'll end at Euro pound. We'll check on how Aussie's doing. But what I say in these live sessions, there's so much other things that go into it. Obviously, you need to have a one-on-one session, or we don't offer those, but ideally, maybe a book. We might write a book in the future where you have clear, concise rules for retest and all that. But for the time being, I feel like this is okay. Looking at Euro Pound, I was also analyzing this pair again from scratch. You can notice my chart colors are different. They used to be dark, but Euro CHF, from the weekly, we have this nice descending trend line right here, from wick to wick, and we recently surged past it. No regard for human life. We had a bounce off this trend line right here, and pound just doesn't care. I've said this many times. The pound is very volatile. They move quick, and this bull run. If you look at this bull run, you barely see any bearish candles. I don't think one candle closed bearish in this weekly bull run. This is probably around 12 weeks of just straight bull action. That's why trading with the trend is your friend. There's probably people that try to short here that got burned. There's probably people that try to short here that got burned. What we're looking at right now is we're coming into this huge resistance zone that spans from 0.9 thousand to 0.90 thousand to 0.90,100, 91,000. So that's the zone. It's about 100 pips zone. And on the daily, so if you guys remember our first few sessions, we had this similar scenario with gold. What happened with gold was we had the support region, and what price did was it came, I guess, a little bit in, not too deep, but just enough, and people were asking about gold shorts. What I said to them was wait till price gets somewhere deep. So in terms of this pair, maybe around have sell stops around 0.90542. That'd be a great spot to have sell stops. Let me actually plot that down for you right there. You want price to actually penetrate within the zone, really give it a nice test before you go for shorts, because if you go short right here, what price could do is go up here, consolidate, and then go down. You're not going to get the best entry. I preach about getting best entries and keeping the risk toward phenomenal. And to do that, you want to enter around, have a sell stop around 0.9600 just to be safe, for whoever asks for Euro Pound. Because if you look to the left, there was times where we've pierced all the way into the zone and then had a nice fallout. And there's other times where we pierced in the middle of the zone and then had the fallout. So to be safe, do something like that, and what ends up happening is your risk to reward is amazing. Just doing this, you plot this out, you give some, breathing room, so maybe 10-15 pip breathing room to your stop loss, and your take profit, you look to the left, where has price come off when it was in the zone. So looking to the left, price came off here, boom, here, boom. It's looking like this support zone is where we're headed to next. Even looking to the left, on our hourly resistance at 0.89937, prices always came to this support zone. So when we get over here and we do enter short from our sell stop, our first take profit should be 0.899937. Okay, we'll see once we get to this area. We'll see how price reacts. If we do get a close below this area, guess what? We're in the range of this. We're in this range fill, and we could have a nice or short idea of going all the way down here as further confirmation. And so look at this 5.71 risk to reward ratio. If you're looking for a long-term swing, then you can pop up this stop loss to our weekly trend line that we drew. So what could happen is price could come here, stall, look like it's shorting, pop up, retest this weekly descending trend line, and then go down. Either way, looking at this, the risk to reward is 2.09. So if you're looking to swing, you can do that. If you're looking to have a nice just intraday, then not really intraday, but something with less risk exposure, you can go for something like this. Both great setups, and they won't break the bank if you lose, but they'll definitely give you some great gains if you win. So popping to the weekly just to illustrate what I'm talking about, something like this. So that's Euro Pound. Any last questions, let me know. I'm glad you're enjoying the analysis. I believe that is it. Let's just look at Euro, Aussie dollar, see what the fundamentals are for the rest of the day and the rest of the week, and we can end this session. So Aussie dollar, okay, it's coming down nicely, but I don't believe this is the one that I analyzed. Alright, this one. So it's coming down nicely. We're having a nice bearish candle right now. Nice bearish candle engulfing. No, not really, but it's a nice candle. We're coming back within the trend line that we broke. So if we could get a close, if we could get a close right here below this descending trend line, and we can get a retest and a rejection, I would be looking to add another lot or position in my trade. But that's what it's looking like right now. We're in great shape. USD CAD came down a bit. We were in like 25 pips drawdown. I believe the stop loss is 34, but last time I checked, we're in like 5 pips drawdown, so that's great. Yeah. So our stop loss was at 1.30662. We came close to that, and we rebounded off this level, and now we're about 10 pips in drawdown. We are kind of coming off this support zone. So these levels are perfect. They're so beautiful. The price action, how they react off them. If you were looking to get out, you probably should have got it around this area. But overall, I do see USD CAD going down. We may see some minor strength because of the positive fundamentals for the USD. But that's that. So Aussie, we're in some profits. USD CAD in some drawdown. It's obvious they're inverses, but that's that. It's Tuesday. The day has just started. I will be definitely posting more setups and signals later today. So thank you guys for joining the live session. It means so much to me. So much support. I love it. If you have any recommendations, constructive criticism, make sure you tell me. I'm not afraid of that. I'm always here to cater to you guys. But that's today's session. I will see you guys tomorrow at 11. Be sure to get onto the trading room. It's great. And just looking at the fundamentals for today. At 1 p.m. Powell is speaking. Ooh, okay, that's gonna be interesting. So we are in USD CAD and Aussie. So for those that are risk aversive, you might want to close out those trades, especially if they're in profit, because Powell is speaking at 1. be sure you know if you're risk averse to get out of that. Major key. Looking for Wednesday pound CPI, CAD CPI. Alright, so not too much concerning us Wednesday, but definitely today at 1 o'clock, Powell is speaking. He will be talking about interest rates. He will be talking about the American economy. So if you are risk aversive, you can either move your stops down, take your profits in Aussie dollar, close out USD CAD. If you're not, just be careful, especially if you have a smaller account. I'm probably gonna let my trades run. That's just me. But yep, enough yapping. I hope this wasn't too boring. But see you guys tomorrow at 11. Happy trading and peace.